We're talking common mistakes now when determining trend. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do wrong before you even do it, like a psychic. Now then, guys, my name's Hunter, this is Hunter FX, and this is part 3 of a 3-part series. I'm going to link up somewhere so you can watch part one and part 2. There's one thing that people really do wrong when determining trend, and they're really forgetting about, and that thing is not hitting that like button. So please do that now, and then we can jump into it. Alright, there's 3 major things that you're probably going to do wrong. The first one is going to be that the breakout into the trend in the opposite direction, so trend change, isn't very clear, or it's on the line. So here's an example where this is a downtrend. This is the level that brings us to the low here, and then this is a retest of that same spot. So either you're thinking that the breakout has to be the candle body, which is one mistake, and this would actually, you would consider that to be a breakout, which is wrong. The breakout is actually the top of the wick that brought us to the bottom, and the fact that it didn't actually close above, or it's just on the line, or it's wicked above and then come back down. So it would actually break out later over here, but that's not what's important. Maybe another example, if we can find one. So here's an example where this is the level that brought us to the low, for example, and it comes back up and it doesn't actually wick above, or it doesn't actually break up and close above. The second thing that people are going to be doing wrong is they're going to be changing the level that brought us to the low or the high when we're not actually making new highs or lows. So what do I mean by that? This is a downtrend. This is making new lows in a sense on this smaller time frame here. Zoom in a little bit here. And so this, we can say, assume that that is the level that brought us to the low. That's what our assumption is. And the fact that we've now come back up, made a lower high, and then we see something like this where it's actually not making a new low, it's just going the same, or it's not going as far quite. This will trick you into thinking that this is now the level that we need to break out from. So you can see that this is obviously 2 different points, and the correct answer is that it still needs to break out of this one, because this is the level that brought us to the low, and this isn't actually making a new low, if that makes sense to you. I think there's another example. This is again very iffy, this one that I showed you before here, that it's actually still, it's basically on the line, but it is actually making a new low, so we would be able to consider that as a breakout, but it's very close. Here is an example where we're in an uptrend here, and this is the level that brought us to the high. It made a new low, and this isn't actually the new level to break. We still need to break this level because we're not making a new high. Once we make a new high, then that's when we can pull up. So if this did happen to go like this, draw up like that, boom, like this, and then break down, then we would be able to say that this was the level that we needed to break. But right now we can say quite clearly that this is the level we need to break, and you can see it's going to bounce on that before it kind of consolidates, retests, and then jumps back down. So the third thing that I will say that people are going to get confused on is trend versus retracement, and that's basically just going to come down to whether or not you're zoomed in too much, or you're looking at the larger time frames or the smaller time frames. So I'll first say that this is the large time frame trend up, right? And you will think that this is the level that brought us to the high here. This is the most recent one. And when that breaks, people are going to say, okay, now it's in a downtrend. But they need to remember that this was the original level that brought us to the high. So on a bigger scale, this is going to continue up. And this is really just a retracement, retesting each of these zones as it comes down, and it's going to have to test each one. So you can see that this is also a leg that needs to be broken. When that one's broken, it's going to come down and it's going to test the next one. It's going to come down and test here, right? And each time it's going to have to test the next one down. And that's just going to be a matter of, now this is a small time frame new trend, but on the major time frame we're still in an uptrend. So that's what you need to look at, is basically how you're going to allocate your high time frame versus low time frame. So if you're really zoomed out here, this is the ultimate low and this is the high, and this is just a retracement back, and then we're going to continue that trend up, right? But you are seeing smaller trends. This is a trend down after it has actually broken this, but on a smaller time frame. So it's a shorter trend, and then we'll break it again, and you'll see that on the smaller time frame, as I was saying before, that this is where it's now broken. This is the level that brought us to the low. So you can see that this is actually the level that's broken, and we come back down, we test something here, it's not too important, and we continue that major trend. Now guys, I know you like this content. I know this content is valuable. This content is some of the best stuff you're ever going to find on YouTube. So I'm going to keep dropping amazing facts, amazing knowledge, amazing content to you guys, as long as you're subscribed, as long as you hit the like button, as long as you just show some love and tell me what you think in the comments below. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, really helps me grow my channel, and I'll appreciate it very much. So please do that now. Join the Discord so we can talk.